Hi, and welcome to our YouTube 7 Days to Die tutorial on console. So, we usually stream on Twitch daily, and the family pop in, have a chat, watch what we're uploading, and they've got hooked. So, they've got PlayStation 4s, but they're generally struggling through the first few days. So, we're just gonna try and upload a tutorial and see how it goes. But in this episode, we'll go through the first 24 hours completing the game's tutorial. We'll find the trader, maybe find somewhere to hunker down for the night, and just go through some of those raw materials with you. So, grass fibres, these thin little straw bits around. I don't think there's many other ways you can get grass fibres, but there's always plenty around. Now, we're in the burnt biome. Probably one of the harder biomes to land into if you're first time round. Hopefully you get nice green fields and flowers. But this biome is really good to get eggs early on, because meat and eggs are the ideal meal to eat early on until you can start farming, which will show you way further down the line. So I do end up picking up stones prior to what it's asking me to, because they're quite hard to find, these little tiny pebbles. And nests as well, where you'll gather the feathers and the eggs from, because you'll need the feathers to make the arrows for the bow that you're going to make hunting. So here's one of the nests here, just feathers, that's absolutely fine. Just, there's not much you can get from these, just trying to show you. So it's pointless, as you can see. I am a sucker for nests. I do love a nest. Until further on, when you don't need the arrows so much, because you're using shotguns and whatnot. So we've got enough grass fibres now to make our bedroll. Just collecting these few stones. And there you go, at the top you push up to craft, and you see it's in the bottom bar, it's counting down. It will now move over to your inventory. You'll hear a little dink when it's ready, and it'll be in the bottom right corner, where it's also showing what you're collecting, which is a really good way of knowing what you're picking up, what you can get from each material. So the bedroll's made. We're going to bring it down to the bottom bar, and then we're going to use our back left button to place it. Go ahead, just pick it up again. So our next challenge should now come up. So we need wood for this stone axe. I've already collected the little stones, saved a bit of time. Again, straight into there. It'll go into your inventory. And then you want to bring it back down to your bottom bar. Now this is only at level 1, so you only get a small amount of resource whilst you're hitting it. But the further you upgrade your skills and your weaponry, it's going to take a bit of time for the time being. So all those grass fibres now are to collect for clothes that we're going to make. A few more feathers. Can't help myself. And you see that I got coal out of that burnt bit of wood. So if you need coal later on, this is a good, like I said, good place for eggs, and coal's really good. With the burnt out big trunk trees, you get coal from that. So I've got enough fibres now. So you go across the top where there's a clothing symbol. You just select that, and then you're going to select each one and craft them. I want to go a bit more resource until those items are done. Like, see at the bottom, you got the wood, the grass, and then the clothing item where it's then been made. You go in, place all the items on. Back to your basics. Go scroll down for the wooden club. I want to craft several here, purely because the more you craft them or duplicate them, the better the weapon gets. So being early on, it's quite hard to kill those zombies. So to give yourself the best chance, make yourself a few clubs, take the one with the most highest points on it, and then scrap the others. So here we go, you can see they're just being made. Here you can see you're getting some like red rock. You're getting the stone, but you're getting this red rock. It's actually raw iron. So if you can see in there, if you scrap that raw iron, it will turn it into normal iron. You want to try and achieve 100 pieces of standard iron to make a stronger club. But here we're just gonna make the arrows and the bow. That's where your feathers come in handy really early on, so you're not having to waste time going to search it because you've collected it in the time that you're already gathering other materials. Just bring that club down. And then go ahead and scrap these ones here. And you're just going to get your wood back, so it's not gone to waste. I've got my bow made now. I've got a few arrows. So for the arrows I'll need feathers and stone. I'm just trying to gather this raw iron still. Okay, scrap it. You can see where the health of your weapon starts to deteriorate, so that's why I've just made a second stone axe, and when that one's completely done I'll scrap that, get the materials back from it, and then bring my new one down. Don't repair, just rebuild and scrap. So here's your 3 storage boxes. You just place them down with your back L button, and then to upgrade them bring your little axe, and again use the L button to upgrade it. And the more you hold that L button, the stronger those boxes will get. So we've completed that challenge. Now we've got to make a campfire. I should have more than enough stone. Again, just place it on something and use that back L button to place it down. So that's the game's challenges completed. If you have any other questions about completing those challenges, just put a comment below and we'll get back to you. And yeah. So the trader's just down southeast from us, not actually too far. So if you look at your compass at the top, it will tell you what direction you're running into. And where I've placed that red marker, that will also flag us on the compass. Now, toilets are really good for collecting guns, weapon, and poo, human poo. Human poo makes fertiliser, so it's quite good to collect. Short iron pipe, bit of lead. And there we have gun, some bullets, some murky water for us to boil up. So on the way to the trader, I advise just gather a few raw materials, just keep your stock up. Don't get too carried away, and try not to take on a zombie on your first day until you've built up the points on your weapons. So I'm just going to speed ahead here, just on the way to the trader, like I said, gather some materials. Sounds funny. As you can see, we've collected a few items along the way, and this is our trader. So we've got hop seeds there. That's to make your own beer. You can't find that anywhere. You can only buy it from the trader, as well as the hops book, which is the guide for you to be able to actually make beer.
Come back tomorrow. We get new
right
goods
there.
daily. Get new goods daily.
Usually in the trader spot there's items that you can collect, but you can't break items down or remove them. They'll just make the most awful sound going, saying no. Vitamins, they're really good to take. They'll bring up your energy and stamina. If you look down in the bottom left where you've got the blue and the red bar, and that stamina will increase the more you eat, the more you drink, and as your wellness gradually builds up. So as you can see, their inventory gets filled up quite quickly. So the hood that we're not using, we can go ahead and scrap. Stuff like tin cans, you can scrap. Brass candlesticks, any sort of trophies, you can break that down so you get lead or brass, which you will need to put into a forge at a later time. But it just goes to show how quickly you can get filled up just going from where you installed to here. Now I'm going to speed up the opening of these garages doors. They're tedious. We're just looking for a desk. Floor, it's the last garage that you left here. Just head back into the trader, sell what you don't need. You don't need oil this early on, you don't need mechanical parts and tins and stuff like that. So just sell it to a trader, build up that coin. You can see there on the menu that he has, what would you want to buy. There's so much you could buy, but a lot of it's easy to make. So obviously we'll help you through that.
Peace be with you, my friend. Peace be with you, my friend.
He says we stop daily.
Gratitude and safe travels, friend. And safe travels, friend. Need assistance? Need assistance? Well, there's always Shamway up the road. You can try looting. Shamway up the road. You can try looting.
So we're done with the trader. Need somewhere to stay for the night. Here on the map, I'm just finding the centre of the map to see how far we are away from the city. So in the top corner you've got your coordinates. And if you try to get as close to 0 as possible, that would be your centre city. But they're pretty fast. Don't go anywhere near them. Not this early, not without weapons. So we're just going to go and try and find somewhere where we can stay. I see a little off-cut on the map just a minute ago. So you have your main dirt roads, but you also have the sand roads that come off of it. You can see those on your map. And it looks like we have found a huge army base. Now, this one is like a secured one, but they do have some out in the woods that don't have these fences up necessarily, but there are bombs in the grass. So don't approach it too quickly. So we're going to make some little boxes here, so we can just get up and over the wall. And it's still quite early. You want to get in about 10 o'clock, because that's when the zombies start running. So rather than wasting time, we're going to gather a bit more raw material before we head in, because we don't know what we're up against once we get inside. Grass fibres, that is. Another nest. And there's the little dirt path I was telling you about, so you can actually see those on the map. And they can lead to traders, ranger houses, general homes, but it's the best way to find a trader. These stones do evade me at times. But what you want is those round grey rocks that you seen me breaking down earlier, because you get the most resource from them. There are big massive boulders that you can get, and you do still get the stone and the iron out of it. Just these little ones here, I just think they're a lot more beneficial trying to get the iron out of it so early. Remember I said you need 100 pieces to get that barbed club, although we have just bought one from the trader, which means I wouldn't be so afraid to take on zombies at this stage. You can see all that stone and raw iron, got some nitrate out of it as well. You can hear them coming up on you, so give him my wallet. He went down nicely, one go. And he's got a jacket on him. We'll take that for the time being. And you see where the stone axe is now. It's completely out of energy, so we'll scrap that. And it gives us some of the stone back. Here's what I made earlier. Another one coming up on this. The sound is good on this game, like you can distinguish where they're coming from. I've got to give them that. And now I'm on fire. It says find water. I'm in a burnt biome. Where on earth am I finding water right now? I'm just down. You will go out, don't worry. What have we got? Oh, a pair of trousers, got a full outfit going. Check me out. Drink some of that water. Now you can see just there, you've got a little person, and it's got the percentage of how much you're quenched. But underneath it is an infected sign. So to get rid of that, you can take some honey, which you can find in tree stumps, or antibiotics, if you have them. They're like the blue and white capsules. You can find them popping pills, or just about everywhere you can make them too. But it will disappear over time if you take paracetamol and water. So these are boxes that we made earlier. I just used to pop up and over, but I can hear zombies already coming. Oh, I think, yeah, there's a couple in here. So like I said, at 10 o'clock, that's when they start running. They can really move from 10 o'clock. But they stop when it comes to 4 AM. They go back to that walking stage. Although you can change those settings before you actually start the game. Now, I've named all these zombies. Actually, most of them. They're not necessarily their real names, but I actually just give you a bit of the character. This one's Phil. If you're from London, you know EastEnders, the TV program. Phil Mitchell was an angry little bald man. So that's why he's called Phil. This is Scary Mary. Don't know why. She is scatty. She is skitty, way she moves. bit tougher than some of the others. There are different levels of zombies. So it stands back for a bit more. Down you go, fella. There you can search the bodies, like I said, like I showed you earlier. They don't always have good stuff, but they will eventually disappear. So if you want it, be quick and take it. So I can still hear a bit of noise. Doesn't sound too close. Some parts. Duct tape's really good. Little beanie out there. Let's scrap that. That noise is coming from out here. The burners. You dead? No? They're both coming back to the floor. So if you go down and you'll see that you get stun damage, it means they're not actually dead yet, so get over top of them, smack their head off. They'll soon be dead. Still a bit of noise, there's still some somewhere. Really good tip, you know there's zombies in that property. Take out the top one, and then they can stand there and you're able to whack them over the top of the bottom. And that just gives you a bit of reach and a bit of safety. Now means it's not crazier. There you go, Stan. Stay down. Didn't have anything on him. Right, so if you crouch, you can see whether you're being hunted or not, or whether you're sensed. These crates though take ages to open until you use some work points on, I think it's Fast Eddie. Lovely. Book, read that. Don't take things out of, like the bookcase where you just had the paper there. Don't take the paper out and scrap it or whatever. Leave it there, because at some point you'll want those items, and rather than scrapping them and wasting them, they're there for you to come back to. So these crates, it will tell you that it needs breaking through. Once you've broken through, it then gives you that symbol to say that it's open for you to search. Don't get carried away and keep cracking them like I have done in the past. Shamway Foods. So we can collect all these empty jars and find a water source, whether it be a swimming pool or like a little lake or something like that. And then you can boil that water on a campfire, which then means it's drinkable. You can try and drink it if you're desperate, but it's so quick and easy to put a campfire together. But if you're on the run and you need it, you'll get a little sign saying that you've got the squits. And there are teas, like flower teas, called goldenrod tea and chrysanthemum tea, and they help for any diarrhea and stuff like that. My mouth keeps going dry, man. 30 minutes. nice fire axe. That beats our little stone axe all day long. Scrap those little tins as well that your soup comes in. That gives you iron still. So put those clothes on, then we can scrap the clothes that we made. And we'll just get those grass materials back. Lovely amount of weaponry in here. That doesn't sound very nice. So she's moaning that she's hot. Take that jacket off. So when you start getting too hot, you have the little symbol down the bottom. It'll say 90 F on it. Just take a layer off, 2 steps down. Ah, there's a Sully. Sully's a little action fighter. Doesn't even have anything worthwhile on him. We're starting to get a little bit too full up. Really, we should be making a storage box. Use that first aid kit. Brings you up a bit. No, we didn't. Scrap that by accident. Always worth search the bins, find weapons, books in them. Don't go wrong, don't go around searching every bin, otherwise you'll never get anything done. starting to get quite thirsty now. Got a nice amount of poo. If you're able to collect it, then do, but if you can find somewhere to lay a storage box with a lot of the items that you don't want to necessarily carry around with you, mark it on your map and you can just come back to it at a later date. Especially when you know you're going to start needing that food to make the fertiliser and stuff. It's nice knowing that you've already got 20 stashed somewhere. I'll just scrap out our last clothing, I think. I think it's just a pair of boots we need. Oh. Throw that campfire down. So to make the boiled water, you will need a cook pot on there, which we'd already collected from the burnt biome in the little stoves. So a bit of wood in there, put the cook pot up, and then it tells you it highlights what's available to be cooked. So we just boil up that murky water. Now these chairs, if you collect these kind of old school chairs, they look like really, don't they? You collect them and you scrap them, you get quite a considerable amount of wood out of them. If I just run around and collect these, just to show you. So go ahead, select scrap, and you see how much wood you just get through these collecting these chairs, rather than wasting your tools on breaking things down. I suppose if you're playing this on PC, it'd be a lot easier to collect things. You have a bit more confidence, I suppose, don't you? And just go ahead, scrap those again. But you see now, if we spend our energy, as well as breaking down the health of the tool, look, right now we're not getting anything. Okay, so we've got one piece of wood from that table in comparison to those chairs. Now these sofas are quite good for cloth fragment and wood. There are black leather sofas about someone where you get leather. Pop in, have some of this water, and turn it off, bring our wood back. And just like that, you've got clean water. Now, Jeremy saying, I need a storage box. Here we go, this is the place that we're going to do it. So you only need some wood. You put it in your bottom bar. Now, if you push the back right button, that's what twists it. And it's the left back button to actually put it in. Go inside, just put in the materials that you're not necessarily going to need immediately whilst you're running around looting. You may use this base or your first base to go back and forth to for the first couple of days. But you do have a horde night on day 7 where those flood of zombies are a bit more intense. You need to make sure that you're safe and secure. And we'll go through a base, or maybe a couple of different types of bases, just to try and help you out a bit. So it is coming up to 4 AM. So there's a gun safe in here that I wanted to make a start on because it takes so long to begin him. take a lot of wax to get through. And I'm just going to continue this till 4 AM, I suppose. So we're going to end the video here, guys. We'll see you next time round. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can always follow us on Twitch too. Bye for now.